Yo guys, welcome back to another video about the Surron Lightbee. In this video we'll be talking about the Moxin controller. The Moxin controller is an upgraded controller that you can install on your Surron. It has been going viral lately because of especially the wheelie feature that it has. So what I did is I bought the controller actually a couple of weeks ago. I installed it on my bike. I've been using it for a while now and I actually faced a lot of issues. In this video, I'll give you my honest opinion about this controller, and I will give you my top reasons why you should not put your money into this controller. If you do have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below and I'll try to answer any questions that we get. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Surron content in the future. And now let's get into the review. When it comes to installing the Moxin controller, it was actually a bit more difficult than I imagined it to be. When we compare it, for example, to the KO Moto Pro Series controller, all you have to do is take out your stock controller and put in the upgraded controller. So with other controllers, it is a plug and play experience, whereas with Moxin, it is a bit different. Installing the Moxin not only requires you to remove the old controller, but also the stock wiring harness of your Surron. This means the installation of the Moxin controller is a bit more advanced and is not suitable for every user. You will have to take apart nearly your entire Surron. You have to remove your stock controller and the wiring harness. You then have to redo all the wiring with the wires that are included with the controller. Let it be clear that installing the Moxin controller is not a plug and play experience. This information is unfortunately also not shared on their website, and they also did not share it when I placed my order for the controller. So you just spent a couple $100s on this controller, and of course you only expect it to add amazing features to your Surron, right? Well, I guess Moxin thought it was a great idea to also remove some of your stock Surron features. This is also something that Moxin does not advertise beforehand. But when you install their controller, you will no longer be able to use your turn indicators, your brake light, and your brake sensors. Yes, you heard it right, Moxin actually gets rid of all these features from your Surron. This is especially problematic for riders, for example from regions like Europe, where the Surron has to adhere to certain regulations. Your Surron will in theory become illegal to use on the road after installing the Moxin controller, and this may lead to you getting fines or other issues with police. I've spoken to Moxin about this issue, and until now they have not been able to resolve it. So this point actually ties into the previous point, but with the Moxin controller it is impossible to set a speed limit on your bike. This is something that is even available in the stock Surron controller, but Moxin has removed it with their controller. Again, this will be especially problematic for riders that want to ride their bike in a legal way. In the Netherlands, for example, we can ride our bikes at 45 kilometers an hour, which was possible with the stock Surron limiter, but is no longer possible when you install the Moxin. This information was not available beforehand. I don't want to spend too much time on this point, but the display that Moxin sends you is of quite good quality. But as you can see in this video, the way it is mounted to your steering wheel is very clumsy. You have to attach a plastic piece to your steering wheel and you have to stick the display on there with a double-sided tape. Now, everyone who's ridden a Surron before will know that this display will not hold up in the way it is attached. If you ever hit a hard bump during off-roading or you crash your bike, there's a very good chance that this display will be launched right off your steering wheel. Again, this is not a huge deal, but it does show me that Moxin did not put much thought into designing this attachment. Let's spend a little bit more time on the design. Now, of course, design is a personal preference for everyone. But I think many riders will share my opinion when I say these colorful cables on the Moxin look very out of place. Moxin also does not provide any out-of-the-box solution to hide these cables. Personally, I also think the buttons that are mounted on the steering wheel look very out of place. They're too colorful and don't fit the general theme of the Surron. It gives it a very cheap and aftermarket feeling. So for this next point, I want you to keep in mind that Moxin assured me that everything will work exactly fine with the stock Surron setup. However, for me, the Moxin caused a big issue, and this has to be one of the biggest issues that I had. Whenever I drive top speed for just a little bit, the controller shoots into the UV protection mode and I cannot give any throttle, as you can see here. To me, it seems like there's some kind of issue with the voltage. However, even after having some back and forth communication with the Moxin support team, they were not able to resolve the issue. So please don't comment on this video and tell me I need to change parameters or change some settings. I've tried a lot of options with the Moxin support team and they were unable to resolve it.
5 minutes later.
And for completeness sake, here's another clip of it happening. This issue is not just incidental, it happens every single time. So let's talk a bit about the amazing wheelie feature. The wheelie mode has to be the top selling point of the Moxin controller. And I was very excited to try it out, and also at the same time quite skeptical because I am running a stock setup. However, Moxin support knew that I was running the stock setup and they always assured me that everything will work fine, including the wheelie feature. Here you can see me configuring the settings in order to use the wheelie feature. Configuring these parameters was easy and I was done after only a couple of minutes. Alright, so let's enable the wheelie mode. We set it to an angle of 25 degrees and that's it. According to Moxin support, all we have to do is full throttle the bike. Yeah, and as you might expect, absolutely nothing happens. In contrary to what Moxin told me, pulling a full throttle on the bike does not get me into wheelie mode. Even when wheelie mode is activated, all that happens is the bike just drives forward. This is also quite obvious and expected, because the Surron does not pull an auto wheelie in the stock setup. Let's try one more time, full throttle. And nothing. Let's try something different now. What if I just enable the wheelie mode, I start driving around 10 miles an hour and then pop the wheel myself. Now this was very hard to get on camera, but what is happening here is as soon as I try to pop the wheel up, the regen braking kicks in and it slams the bike down. So even when I try it this way, it is impossible for me to get the wheel up because the regen braking just shuts me down. This is a very strange feeling and it's also very hard for me to explain. But as you can see, we have the angle set to 25 degrees, but there is no way that I can get the wheel up. I did find one way in which I can do somewhat of a wheelie, but it's just extremely clumsy. What you have to do is you have to stand still, you have to push the bike up yourself and then full throttle it. This way we can finally engage the wheelie mode, but it's extremely clumsy as I've already said. You have to sort of chase your wheelie, you have to jump back on your bike and try to get on it. This, in my opinion, is very unsafe and it's absolutely not how Moxin intended it to be used. So to give one more quick summary, when I follow Moxin's official instruction, which is to full throttle the bike does not go up because it's a stock bike, obviously. When I try to slowly ride the bike and try to pop the wheel, it's impossible. It will not allow me to pop the wheel and it will just send me back down. The only way we can do somewhat of a clumsy wheelie with this thing is by standing still and popping the bike ourselves and trying to chase the wheelie. I have talked to Moxin about this issue. I've also shown them videos of me doing the wheelie in different types of ways and they are just completely stunned. They don't know why this is happening and what I can do to solve it. It just very much looks like this is not supported on a stock Surron. My short and sweet advice would be to not buy this Moxin controller. I think the way it has been showing up on TikTok and YouTube is very romanticized. In my opinion, the controller is way underdeveloped and it still has too many issues to be actually used. And if I have to be completely honest, I'm also very disappointed in all those large Surron YouTubers that have promoted this controller and acted like everything is fine. This also shows that you should not always trust sponsored videos. I will also leave you with a fair warning that their customer support is absolutely horrendous. They do not care for you as a customer. As soon as you pay them for the controller, all they want to do is send you the controller and that's it. Even after I had reported all of these issues, Moxin completely denied my request to return the controller to them for a full refund. They took nearly $1,000 from me and left me with this useless controller. I was extremely lucky that I was able to open a PayPal dispute. After opening the dispute, Moxin became very nervous and they actually allowed me to return the controller finally. I think this whole experience really proves that it's better to stick with big brands, especially when you're spending a lot of money. I'm curious to hear your opinions about the Moxin controller in the comments below. Thank you for watching this review. Make sure to like the video and subscribe for more Surron content.